Hola, ¿qué pasa pues?
Hey everybody.
What y'all looking at? What y'all looking at?
All-time high.
GU.
On the Delta? You said GU.
I'm looking at all-time high.
On what?
This one that you are on right now.
On gold.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Andrew. All time
I'm
gold.
all good.
Well, I think eventually at least. What you got on GU on girl? When did you get in?
I'm waiting to get back in on the cell.
So I mean,
Get back in.
Yeah, I was selling the 6 months, so I got in real early.
well we're at a level. We have to see what it does at this level. Um, when I look at the other pair, I think UJ is at a spot. I got an alert on UC and UJ today, as a matter of fact. Uh, This is at a turnaround spot for me. Well, and I would like to see UJ hit this level right here. Um, so I think it still has a little bit more pushing. With that being said, I know you can't you got to look at them individually, but when I look at the dollar itself, and I believe this is a pullback. So I do believe the dollar is going up. I believe there's a fundamental case for it to go up with that big, beautiful bill that got passed. Um,
You hear about Jerome Powell's resignation letter that they said is fake? It's going around online.
is it?
Yeah.
So he's resigning?
Well, that's the rumor.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. Um, but if anything happens to Powell, all bets are off. I think the dollar is going to sink if something happens to Powell. I think if Powell is in there, we'll get the pullback. We'll get the pullback. I think the dollar will buy. But if something happens to Powell, I believe that there will be a loss of confidence
DJ close. No.
in the Fed itself.
Hi.
How are
Yeah,
you?
Todd, Todd,
Yes.
You
Yeah,
look good.
Todd, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Mr. Todd, yeah, what pair is this?
This is called the dollar index.
Oh, so what this pair actually signifies? Like, do we trade this pair on the current, like
Well, it
alongside
depends
currency
on if your
pairs?
broker allows you to trade the dollar index. Some brokers allow it, some don't. It's like any other index. But
Oh,
it's directly opposite of EU. It's most closely correlated with Euro USD.
wow.
But if something happens to Jerome Powell, y'all, I think we should all kind of look for the dollar to do a Liz Truss. You know, back when Liz Truss introduced those tax cuts in Great Britain, and the British pound like dirt dive. If something happens to Powell, I think that's going to be the same reaction we get from the dollar. Um, if nothing happens to Powell, I believe the dollar is going to recover temporarily in the short term. And the fundamental reason behind that is the big, beautiful bill got signed. And they're not going to, Scott Bessent is going to manipulate the front end of the yield curve, which means the dollar's going to get stronger at first. And that kind of jives with with what we're seeing on the chart, as far as this needing a pullback. So, it doesn't really matter how you feel about it personally. What matters is when you're looking at the chart, you have to take into consideration what you're seeing on the chart. So if you pull up any of these charts, EU, GU, any of the USD charts, they're all at a daily level. Many like GU and EU are at supply zones. UC is at a demand zone. So you have to watch the trade, and you have to take your cues from the market, right? Either you're going to get a change of character or you're not. So if I'm you, I'm selecting my time zone that I need to see my change of character on, and then I'll take my cues from the market at that point. I believe that either way we go, we'll have a definitive answer tonight on London session or tomorrow on New York session. So, if price is just hanging out, let me see if we have news. Because if it's just hanging out, it would just behoove you to avoid the trade until the news comes out. Okay, tomorrow we got existing home sales, and we got we just got existing home sales. I don't know if that's going to have a huge effect. So I'm just going to take my cues from what I see in the market, and it doesn't matter. I think EU and GU are both in great spots to where they're going to either reject, right? We're going to either get a rejection and it's going to start selling, or we're going to push through, pull back, and we'll keep buying, right? Either way is fine. If you know me, I'm bearish for or I'm biased for price to get a little bearish. But, my bias doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is what happens on these charts, right? We're at a daily supply zone, right? This is a supply zone right here. So we'll have to see how the market reacts at this zone. And if it does indeed start to sell, I will make sure I get in either GU or EU for the sale. If not, then I'll just hold what I got. In my opinion,
What time frame is this?
are you serious?
Oh, the 1 day.
Yeah, it's a daily, bro. It's a daily. In my opinion, there are easier trades, that are available. And I like EN and I like EA, both of which I have as shorts. That way, if you don't feel like making decisions, or if you're nervous about making decisions, I think that these two trades are easier, or can be easier. If I go down to this 8-hour chart, I got internal liquidity grab. I got a bearish 8-hour order lock and a pullback. So I look for EA to get short here pretty soon, maybe even on Asian session. EUR NZD is a similar setup where you have the liquidity grab here along with the bearish candle, and I look for this also to get short. It really just depends on how you see the charts or see the market. But I think those are two pretty straightforward and easy opportunities. If you are a JPY trader, I think for the most part, when I looked across, I didn't look at GJ, but we'll look at it now. Yeah, it's going to sell. Um, I think there are several of them. CAD, JPY, even this ugly pair. Of course, I told you I'm not taking it. I'm not taking shorts until it breaks this line. But on some of the lower time frames, when I look at it, um, I can clearly see that this wants to tank, right? So I just let the market come to me, and I'll go to a pair that I like to set up on. I don't discriminate. I'm not a person that trades one particular thing. I'm going to trade the pair that gives me the setup that I like, right? So if I'm looking at this setup, I like this setup. I like it because we had displacement, we had a pullback, and all we need to do is get low, get low. So I like a lot of these JPYs. I think I liked EJ the most when I looked earlier. Um, I like EJ for several reasons, but I like CAD, JPY, I like Euro AUD, I like Euro NZD. So I think you just have to kind of go across the board and pick which pairs you like. I know a lot of you are trading gold. I like gold too for longs. I told y'all maybe last week that I was biased for bullishness. When it had a change of character for me on the line chart. But I would only be looking for gold to pull back, and then I would be looking for longs on that. And if we break the high on gold, uh, I'm definitely done trading it unless I'm already in it, right? So this is something to think about. If you're also biased that gold is going long, right? If you're biased that gold is going long, when gold pulls back, you need to be looking for entries, because what's going to happen eventually, I think, is gold is going to come up here and run this high, right? And if you're not already in the trade, right? If you're not already in the trade before we start running past 3,500, you're going to be one of those people in the category of buying high, right? You don't want to buy high. You don't want to buy all-time highs. You want to be in the trade already, right? So that means if you're carrying profit up through these all-time highs, and then it pulls back and you're trying to get another position, that's a little bit different because you're riding profit, right? But if you're just not going to participate until gold breaks all-time highs, I think that's probably a strategic mistake. I'm not y'all's dad or anything, but it's just something to think about if you're going to trade gold. All right. Let's talk about these indices. Indices. All right. Last week, I told you I wanted to see price come down to the zone. Price ain't did nothing except for hang out in the same area, which is cool, right? I'm not a daily trader of the indices, but this is really why I like to trade whatever gives me a setup instead of wait for a specific pair. Yeah, you could be intraday and trade back and forth. That's just not my type of hype, right? But for me, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I still want to see price come back down to my level. Uh, and I still believe that that's going to happen. I know that we got a lot of back and forth and consolidation or whatever going on. But to me, that's just the market's taking money from the people who don't know what they're doing. So if you are a daily US 30 trader, maybe you have more insight on how you're trading it, or the setups that you see playing out. For me, I'm not at all interested until price starts breaking and heading to my zone. The let me see the DAX. The DAX has been DAXing, yeah. The DAX has been DAXing, right? So I think we talked about this pair like 2 weeks ago. We had this bearish OB, price tapped in and rejected. So oh, that's not the DAX, that's a Dixie. Okay, we had a bearish OB, price tapped in, rejected, and we're starting to get the push to the downside. I can't swear to you that this is going to be a bearish weekly candle, even though I think it's going to be. To me, when we get this push down and this pullback that didn't even attempt to run that high, it was all systems go, right? So if you're a London session trader and you like trading indices, I think that you have a green light for this DAX pullback, right? We can clearly see price pushed up. We ran these highs over here. You get to your little double top, and we should get a nice pullback. For me, I want to see this pullback at least to this gap, right? So if you're a DAX trader or you want to trade indices, this might be a better option for you while your US indices take their time to do whatever it is that they're doing. You know, whether they wait for Trump to get busted or they're waiting for Jerome to get fired or whatever the case may be. All right, you guys have any anything that y'all are trading? I know y'all got a lot of weird pairs. Anybody want to share their screen? Naima, you should definitely look at that German 30. German 40 is really what I think what it's really called. Is anybody trading anything that we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about EC. I don't know if anybody's trading EC.
Yes, EC.
Shut up, Kyle. You ain't even trading it. You trading EC, Kyle?
Yes, I am.
Are you did you buy it up?
Yeah, I did.
Are you still in it or did you close?
I didn't close it. I'm still in it. I bought it up and then I entered the sell too early.
I don't think you entered the sale too early. To me, it's selling. So the buy up to me was always going to end right around here, right? I don't have I didn't have a 100% area that I wanted to see. I saw price was wicking out, but the thing that got me was this inside bar yesterday or today, right? So when I got an inside bar at resistance, what I want to see is us to go up and take this high tonight, and then you could look for a short maybe on London session. That would be ideal for me, but I definitely still believe that this is a short, and that's how I would look at it, or I would try to.
Can you go to the 1 hour? Because I think I have the same high marked up, but I didn't look at it on the daily. Let's see. I'll zoom in on my phone.
I think on the 4 hour too, you get
Yeah.
all of this to me was there was a change of character.
Okay.
Then you broke this. I just to me there's nothing that even made me consider that this wasn't going to sell. There's your change of character. There's your pullback. Only thing that I thought initially was we might pull back up here, but once I saw those candles wick out, I was like, man, this is as high as this thing's probably gonna go. So I'm definitely biased for this thing to sell. I'll have to see how it looks coming out of Asian session.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think we'll get sell entries on EC on those euro pairs. I think the euro. In fact, I know the euro is trash for whatever reason right now. Let me see. Where's my euro world currency?
Wait, Todd, you said the euro is trash right now, so that heavy news on Thursday should make the E sell?
I think it is. I think it's when I say trash, I take that with a grain of salt. It's a pullback, is what it is. Like the euro has ran for 6 months. So coming into this week, I got price selling. The first 2 days we bought, like we always do about this time. So I think euro needs to come see me. The euro need to come see me down here.
Is the G selling too?
Yeah, I saw the G setup was pretty similar. Only thing the G's don't have is the imbalance. You know what I'm saying?
No, say it again.
Only thing I don't see on this chart for the G's is the imbalance that needs to be filled. But it's all good. I mean, it can still come to one of
Oh,
these.
like below. I got you.
But it can come to one of these zones, and I'm sure if we break down like into a lower time frame, it probably will be imbalances at some of these levels. But I was just looking at it on the weekly here this past or coming into this week, and I said, man, the euro is right where we want. So it had sold down and got below my moving averages. I saw the imbalance, and I wanted to get a pullback before we sold, and I figured we would because EA and EN both needed, and EC both needed the pullback. So I think the market is right where we thought it would be. So I think we'll get our sales like usual. I think they'll be starting tonight on London. So like always, I'm going to look for the Asian session highs to get ran. Hopefully I'll get it on one or two of the pairs, and I can make an easy decision. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. Anybody else looking at anything else? Any other pairs?
So to be clear, the EAEN, those are the best setups for.
Look, I like those setups. Honestly, I like all the E setups. To me, EA and EN, there are no questions for me that these are going to sell. Now you might look at this and say, I don't know. For me, 1000%, there's no question. I got the daily wick. We wick these highs. For me, 100% is going to sell. You have to kind of like what you like. Like you've been trading long enough where you get certain setups. You're like, okay, I like that. I like the way that setup looks. I can drop down. I get a 6-hour order block, bro. We going we going south, and it might not even wait until the Asian session. For me, this and EN are great. Couple
Okay,
with
cool.
the fact that we ran that low too. Bruh. Man, we got 336 to the imbalance. 336. Holla at your boy. Anybody got anything else? All right, good folks.
Thanks, Todd.
And see you on the Market Street.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.